hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And Merry Christmas. I am so happy to talk about all the stories that we read today. But first and foremost, wanting to wish you all a very happy holiday season. This is a magical time for both of us. We're always very much in the spirit.
Truly, we are known as the Christmas girls at our gym.
Yes, which is a very special title that is earned, not given. Mm-hmm. So, without further delay, today Alex and I are going to be talking about some of the wonderful specials that they have going on for different platforms that we're using, whether that's sales on different stories that you may be interested in getting into, as well as diving deeper into some of the stories on the Lezhin Advent calendar that they've created. So definitely looking forward to hopping right in. But first, we'll go ahead and let Alex kind of talk through a lot of the different sales that are going on with Webtoon.
So Webtoon has a sale right now where you can buy entire series for discount coins. So there is just a handful on here. Some of the ones that Annie has read are Marry My Husband, Love Advice from the Great Duke of Hell, Daytime Star, which is one of your favorites.
I love it.
Mage and Demon Queen, I think you read that one. And that's all that you've read, I think.
I also read some of the Duke's Teddy Bear.
You did, yes.
Which I fell off of for a while. It was very funny to think that this girl's spirit got to like possess a teddy bear every night.
Yeah. Well, I picked up 3 new ones from this that we have not read at all. So Devilish Romance, which the premise sounds a little bit like Devil Number 4. So I'm excited to read this one.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
It seems very corporate, but in this case, the main character, who is the female lead, she is actually a very strict boss, and it's like an enemies to lovers, so I'm very excited about that one. The other one I bought is The Doctors Are Out, and this is about 2 doctors who have competing clinics. So one is, well, I guess they're not really competing because one is a human clinic and one is a veterinary clinic, but again, enemies to lovers, they do not get along, so we'll find out how they get along at the end. And then the last one that I bought is Eternal Nocturnal, and I don't really know a ton about this one. I know that this has been on both of our lists, and I had to get it for the cover photo alone.
It is supposed to be really precious. I've read the beginning of this one.
Yeah.
And I'm probably also going to have to buy this while it's on sale.
You really should. I think I got it for 99 coins, which is a pretty good deal because there are 100 episodes. So you can't beat it.
Yeah, it really is pretty great. All in all, I do think that it's a really good list. I will say there's another one that I wanted to highlight, which is Cursed Princess Club.
Oh, yeah.
I know that one is one that we've seen in print, and it's supposed to be so good. So that's always kind of been on the radar as well. But definitely take a look through their list. They have a lot of different sales for the Own Your Own series. And they really are just a great deal if it's a series that you're wanting to get yourself into.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we'll highlight another thing happening this holiday season, which is the Lezhin Advent calendar. This was a really nice surprise, mostly because the Advent calendar's entire goal is to release 25 short stories and 1 short story every day leading up to the holiday. So at this point, they've released 25. Alex and I have chosen a few that we were reading to kind of give a review and overview of some of them, whether or not they're worth it. But it's always nice, especially on Lezhin, where you're paying all of that money, to have series that are a little bit shorter so it doesn't cost you all of the coins and you could still maybe get a good story out of it. So, without further ado, the first one that I read from the Advent calendar is called Colorize. This one, the photo immediately had me hooked. Yeah. I knew that I needed to read this one. But this story is about Yu-sung. He is a high school student that has decided that he wants to be an actor, and he's in the drama club. And one day his friends are dressing him up in like a wig and makeup and everything else. And this other high school boy is asked by his friend to go find the prettiest girl in the drama club and ask for their phone number. And so this poor boy, Gun-ha, he walks up and he asks Yu-sung for his phone number while he's in makeup and a wig. And Yoosung gives him a bunch of crap about it. He's like, hey, bro, I'm not a girl. Sorry, you've got the wrong person. And Gunha is so embarrassed. He just turns bright red and runs away. Yoosung is immediately curious now about who this person is, mostly because he found it a little funny, but also because he just thought it was pretty cute. So Yoosung starts pursuing him, and Gunha keeps a pretty good distance. You can see that there's a lot of back and forth between the two of them, and Gunha's not quite sure if Yoosung is like continuing to pick on him or if there are more feelings there involved. So Yoosung eventually invites Gunha to just go out on a day on the town with him, and he invites him to like a lot of different plans, and it's definitely a date.
Yeah.
But Gunha is like, I like Yoosung, but I don't know if he actually likes me back. So I'm just going to pretend like we're just really good friends now. And that's why we're doing all this stuff together. And they go and make friendship rings. And like Yoosung's like holding his hand. It does. But Yoosung is holding Gunha's hand. And when Yoosung goes to the bathroom, Gunha kind of hears everybody talking in the background. And he's uncomfortable about the fact that people are assuming that they're dating because Gunha doesn't know the nature of their relationship. And so he leaves the date. Flash forward to 7 years later. Yoosung is now a famous actor. Not only that, but he has a stalker that has been vandalizing his apartment. And the building owner is kind of upset at this. He's like, you need to get a security detail out here because I don't want the property being defaced, and we need to get to the bottom of this. So the building manager just compiles a huge list of all of these different people that could do the security detail. And who shows up on this list but Gunha, who has not talked to Yoosung since high school. And so Yoosung hires him with the strict idea of, I am owed an apology. So if we hire him, he can give me an apology to my face that I'm owed for him bursting out of our date.
Yeah.
And so he hires Gunha as his personal bodyguard to figure out who this stalker is, stop the defacing of his apartment, but also so that they can get to the bottom of what the nature of their relationship was and maybe what the relationship is now. It was so fun. I loved it start to finish. It was 7 episodes, so it was super quick to read.
Yeah.
But the characters were just so cute, and I love them.
I'm glad that you started off with a good one.
Yeah.
Mine, not so great. So the first one that I read is Love Lesson, and this one is shorter than the one that you read, so it is only 4 episodes plus a prologue. And this one is about Lee Ji-yu, and he is an actor. And he's not a very good actor. So it opens up with just showing how bad he is and just like he really is awkward on the screen and he just can't really get any of his lines right and he just doesn't sound right. He's not acting the right way. And the internet, we all know the internet, not very nice to him.
No.
So they're all talking about how bad he is at acting. And so he decides that he's going to solve this problem by going to the director of the agency that he works for and saying, could you please teach me how to act better?
I don't think that's who's supposed to teach you.
Well, the director is like, I hired this guy. He's pretty cute. And I feel bad that he sucks. So I'm going to help him. So they're running their lines together. And it's a romance scene that they're working on. And they're going back and forth. And then eventually Ji-yu is just trying to like make his move. He's kind of gotten out of the actual scene and is just doing his own thing. And the director, his name is Lee Do. And he is kind of just questioning what's going on. He's like, what are you doing? Back off. But then they don't. Typical. So they have their little moment in the office, and then Lee Ji confesses. It's actually kind of a little bit sad for just a second because he talks about how he didn't really have a good home life as a kid, and he didn't have like any family that was nice to him. He didn't have any friends, and so he watched a lot of TV. And then you realize that he saw Lee Do on TV when he was young because he's older, and he was like, I fell in love with him instantly, and then when we reconnected, I fell in love with him again. So it's like a super insta love story. They just kind of go on with their lives, and then you see that he got much better at acting, but they're still doing their quote lessons. And now they're going on dates. It like ends with the calendar of showing like Lee Do's calendar, and it says date with Lee Gu. So that's it. It's not bad. It's just not great.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those stories. You're like, I read it.
Yeah, I read it. It's like middle of the road. I wouldn't put it in like, oh, I don't like this. Absolutely don't read it. But I also wouldn't like encourage you to read it.
Okay, I get that. No, that makes sense. How many episodes was it?
It's only 4 episodes and then a prologue.
I think that also kind of comes along with you can't always develop a really good story.
Yeah.
With so few episodes. Sometimes it's like the perfect amount. And it really is hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I read one on Manta a while ago that was only 3 episodes. And it was actually really well done. And I felt like it was a well-developed story for only being 3 episodes. This was not that.
I appreciate it. The next one that I read is called Rusty Nail. I was really excited to read this one because it's a gangster story.
Yes.
It did fall a bit short for me, but we'll kind of get into that. So, Rusty Nail is about Isaac Carter. He is the second in command underboss for a criminal organization or a gang called the Rusty Nail. And they kind of run everything.
Is it named after him or is he named after the gang?
Oh, so I'm getting there.
Okay.
So the leader of this gang, his name is Mr. Rusty Nail. So the gang is just named after him. Immediate point, I don't think having a gang named after your actual name is very smart. I think it'd make you easily traceable.
Yeah.
It did lead to some comedic effect for me, which was fine. I do love a good comedy.
Yeah.
But this one was not. It is a boy love. So you do see Mr. Rusty Nail talking to Isaac, second in command. And he goes, I'm like 75 now. I really need to look into retiring. Yeah, 75.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw your eyes kind of pop out of your head. He's done his time, 10 years in Azkaban. You see Mr. Rusty Nail say, I really need to get out of this business, retire, maybe go, relax and vacation somewhere nice. And he's like, I'm trying to pick who's going to take over. And Isaac is like straightening his tie. He knows it's going to go to him because he's been second in command forever. And Mr. Rusty Nail goes, I have a son and I want you to train him how to take my place.
Ooh.
This does not go over very well. Isaac is extremely upset, but he's even more upset to find out that the son is named Phil, and he met Phil about 2 nights prior because they had a one-night stand, and he's a bartender.
Such a common trope.
It really is. I know that sounds like a joke, but because it's outlandish, but it really is done a lot.
Yeah.
So Isaac gets super upset with Phil. He's like, I don't respect you. Where the hell have you been? You're his son and you haven't been trained at all. I'm training you as a grown adult and this is what I was raised doing. And Phil kind of likes it, kind of likes his attitude. So unfortunately, that does not keep Phil from doing anything. They do have to go out on this mission because they find out that there's a leak within the organization and they're trying to figure out who it is. And it's one of the underlings lieutenants, I guess. Not quite sure what the ranking system is here. They have lieutenants and then an underboss. But
oh, you should ask my husband because he knows all of that stuff.
All the crime dramas.
Yeah.
But they find out that, it's one of them. And unfortunately, Isaac gets subdued. So, he is completely at the mercy of this lieutenant and, the group of gang members that's going against the organization. Mm-hmm. And Phil just kind of comes out of nowhere. And you find out that he has just been playing it low-key. And that he's actually been trained his whole life and knows exactly what he's doing and, shoots everybody point blank. He's just like, oh, I just kind of played it down. It's like, it's been time with you.
On you.
Yeah. So, they form a romantic relationship, and you do find out that Mr. Rusty Nail was actually just trying to get Phil to spend time with Isaac because he wanted Phil to be involved in the organization again. Mm-hmm. But he was always planning on giving the boss title to Isaac anyways.
Yeah.
And then Isaac and Phil get to continue their romantic relationship, and Isaac takes over.
There you go.
All in all, I'd say it's about the same as where you're at.
Yeah.
I'd say C tier. You're like, I read this and it happened. And it was at this point of reading the stories that I was like, it'd be cool if some of them had something to do with Christmas. But it could just be me being in a jolly festive mood.
Yeah.
And being like, I heard Advent calendar and I'm not really seeing that.
Christmas, where you been, Loca?
Exactly. So, it was 5 episodes. It was easy to read.
Yeah.
And if you want just a silly, goofy boy love that wraps up pretty quickly, that's what it is.
That's one. Well, sticking with the middle of the road.
Okay.
The next one that I read is called The Perfect Student's Secret Hobby. Now,
say that 3 times fast.
I won't. This one is about Junhyuk, and he is kind of a class bully. So this is a college group of students. And we start off, we meet just the group of students, and there is a new student who has come out, and his name is Do-yeon. Mm-hmm. And Do-yeon is top of the class. Everyone knows him because he's great at school, and he's also very good looking. So they're like, yes, come hang out with us. And they're all immediately talking about how much they don't like Junhyuk because he's a bully. Mm-hmm. And they all say that he comes in and he tries to hit on all the guys and just make them uncomfortable. And Do-yeon is like, that's pretty interesting that he does that. I'm going to have a solution for this because I don't like bullies, and I'm going to take care of this. This is all his inner monologue.
Yeah.
I will preface this with there is some non-con in here. So Junhyuk says, let's have some drinks together, and Do-yeon agrees to have these drinks. Mm-hmm. Now, what Junhyuk doesn't know is that every drink that they pour and do the shots, Do-yeon is doing the classic throw it over your shoulder into the plant behind you. Mm-hmm. So Junhyuk gets really drunk. Do-yeon does not. And at the end of the night, they're like, okay, who's going to take him home? He's a big guy. We don't want to do this again. Mm-hmm. And Do-yeon volunteers. He's like, I'll take him home.
Well, he is sober.
Yeah. So the next thing you know, Junhyuk wakes up and he is tied to Do-yeon's bed.
Oh my.
And Do-yeon is like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'll let you fill in the blank on what the lesson is.
I think it was math.
It was math. He's really good at math. So that happens, life goes on, and then Junhyuk is avoiding him at school now. He's like, I can't handle this. Mm-hmm. Everyone is like, why is he avoiding him? He's acting so weird. Mm-hmm. And Do-yeon is kind of stalker level, trying to get back together and talk to him, and it ends up happening at the end, and that's really all that happens. It's not great. I would put this maybe even a little bit lower, a C-.
Let's just call it what it is. It's a D.
It's a D. I'm trying to be nice, I guess. Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend this one unless you specifically really like non-con, just because I don't know, it felt a little to me.
It just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Well, unfortunately, I'm keeping the not so merry train going. The next one that I read was called Please Candy. This one is also 5 episodes. Mm-hmm. And this story is about Hagong Park, who had this, I guess, boyfriend, but they weren't as romantically involved in high school. It was more like a crush that was mutual, with Jin Woon, one of his fellow classmates. And when they graduated, they were like, wait for me. Like, I'm desperately in love with you. I know that we're seniors in high school, and how would we know that? But wait for me. And I promise, like, we'll get a job at the same place. We'll be near each other, whatever. Immediately, I was curious about this one, and I just have to make an aside because this is actually going to be something that comes up again in this episode, but it opens up talking about the BDSM tower, and that never really comes back into play in the story.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put that out there. I don't know why it started out with that. But they never really tie in what this BDSM tower is. Just flagging that for you.
It's called BDSM Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hagong is now a grown adult. He has a corporate job. He's just kind of moving through the motions. And who ends up getting hired at his job and getting a desk right next to him other than Jinwoon, who had said, we'll get a job together, we'll work together. Like, this will be our future together. So Hagong is like, oh my gosh, butterflies. He's so excited to have his love back. And he's like, I really did wait. And Jinwoon is gone. Like, will not interact with him, will not say anything. And he starts having second guesses. Like, am I crazy? Like, did he move on? It'd be really cool if we could even just have a conversation to figure out what this is.
Yeah.
And Hagong's like, maybe I'm looking into it. Like, maybe, it was unrealistic to expect people to wait, and I just need to move on. And anyways, Jinwoon comes up to him and he gives him a sucker. And he's like, hey, I hope your day is as sweet as this sucker, and leaves it. And then he runs away, like physically runs. And so Hagong's like, you didn't even let me respond. But so they start this like weird relationship in the office where like Jinwoon keeps leaving him candy, and Hagong's really excited. He's like, I mean, yeah, like that's super sweet. So finally Hagong just gets sick of whatever this like weird miscommunication or lack of communication is between the two of them. And so he corners Jinwoon in a stairwell and he's like, do you still like me? Like, what is this? And Jinwoon is like, I really do, but I was embarrassed and I didn't know if you moved on. And so they become like a secret couple. Like, they don't want their coworkers to know really, but like outside of work, they're constantly together, and they're like very slowly easing into their relationship because they had never really explored like a romantic relationship before. One day, Hagong Park does go to visit Jinwoo after work. He's bringing him a bouquet of roses, and just in general, he's like really excited to see Jinwoon. And as he's approaching the door, he sees another man leaving the apartment. And so Hagong kind of like freaks out. He's like, who are you seeing? Why are you cheating on me? Like, is this why we aren't intimate together? Whatever. And Jinwoon's like, you've got it completely wrong. You don't understand. And Hagong ends up at some point like drinking tea that has been slipped with something. And when he wakes up, he has candy in a very sensitive spot. And again, we kind of get the non-con out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's not great.
And I just feel like with it being Christmas time, we just need to approach the elephant in the room here and go, why? Why do you do this? You could have like good, wholesome stories, and you just have to make it like not a mutual relationship.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either. The last one that I have, not much better. This one is funny, though. I will give it that.
Okay.
It takes place at a very similar place. So you had the BDSM tower. This one starts off at a BDSM manor.
What is happening?
I don't know. But it's also never brought up again.
Like, what is the point?
I don't know. So this one is called Fatal Mistake.
Okay.
And our main character, Han Sungmin, he does make a fatal mistake.
Okay.
He's an escort, and he has had a client who has complained against him and wanted their money back. And so the agency that he works for is not happy with him because he cost them money. And so he's saying, you have to get this next client right. Like, you better do better this time.
Okay.
And he says, go meet this guy at this cafe. He'll be wearing a yellow pocket square. So Han Sungmin goes to this cafe. He sees the most handsome man, full suit, yellow pocket square. He's like, cool, here we go.
I lucked out.
He goes up, he starts talking to him, and the man is kind of like not really, he's not wanting to immediately go to the hotel that they agreed upon. And Sungmin is like, okay, normally people are just like, okay, I'm here, let's go, let's get this done. And so he's a little confused at what's going on. And eventually Sungmin just kind of outright says, all right, are we going to the hotel? And the guy, the mystery guy, is like, oh, well, yeah, let's go. And at this point, you kind of realize that he has gone up to the wrong person. There are two people there with a yellow pocket square. So then you see, as they're leaving, you see the other guy who is like looking around for his escort with his yellow pocket square. And he's not happy again.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So Sungmin goes to this hotel room. He is with this guy who is fully just taking advantage of the situation and thinking like, I've really lucked out now. And eventually Sungmin kind of realizes that he needs to just get out of here. He's like, okay, this has gone on long enough. I need to just leave. And so he escapes from the room while his mystery date is in the shower. And he leaves. Now, after that, we see room service has been ordered. And the room service guy comes in and there's a knife fight. Did you see that coming?
Why?
Because he is a mob boss. So there was a hit against him. And he's thinking, this mystery mob boss is thinking, I was not supposed to be in this hotel. And this guy brought me to this room and left me here.
So he's suspecting.
Yeah, so he's like, this guy set me up. And so then was given the business card for Sungmin. So he hires Sungmin again. And Sungmin is like, okay. So he gets back into this car and immediately the mob boss is like, what are you doing? Who do you work for? And takes him back to the stereotypical warehouse. And then Sungmin is like, this is a huge misunderstanding. You were the wrong client. That's why I left. It's not. But he says that's why he left. And he's like, so I just, that's why I left. You can call my boss. You can ask him. So he sends his underlings out to go and find out if that's the real story or not. The underlings end up taking all of the escorts except for one and the boss to go find out and make sure that this story is right and that like they're not all in on it.
Oh my gosh.
So then Sungmin is on the phone with one of his like fellow escorts and friends. He's the only one who wasn't taken. He like hid when everyone was being taken. So he's like, I don't know what's going on, but all these guys just came in and they took everyone. And where are you? Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, it's okay. Like, this whole situation happened and we just, you have to tell this guy that like it was just a big misunderstanding. And then the mob boss comes back in, sees him on the phone and is like, oh, are you trying to call the cops? He's like, no, please. And eventually it does come out that the story was true. They figure out that like they weren't all in on it. It was just a big misunderstanding. And the mob boss is like, okay, once we figure this out, I'll let you go. And then it just ends with the mob boss being like, I changed my mind. I'm not going to let you go. I gotta say, if I were going to read any of the ones that I read, or if I were going to recommend any of the ones that I read, it would be Fatal Mistake because it just has a little bit of humor where the other two didn't have that as much.
Honestly, it sounds like something I'd read.
It's pretty funny. I think you should read it. It's only 5 episodes and a prologue, so, check it out.
Yeah, that sounds great. I do love the like miscommunications that are funny and propel the story forward.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it's got everything I need. It's got a mob boss and a comedy aspect. Who knew?
Great.
So that does bring us to the last story we're going to talk about today. Alex and I actually both read this one.
We did. And
I'm really excited. I loved this. The story is called Kiss and Slither. This is the one that released on December 1st. Mm-hmm. So it was a very strong way to start out the Advent calendar.
Yes.
But this has 3 episodes only. So the fact that it made an impact with 3 episodes, again, it's very hit or miss in that like very short form comic as to whether or not you can kind of express the story you want and wrap it up well. But it was good for me.
I loved it. I gotta say, the best one on here that we've read so far.
It is true. Now, the story specifically revolves around Han Sarong. He is, I believe, a model.
Yeah.
Or he's at least helping out a photographer friend who is very neurotic and has a lot of different commands for him.
Yes.
But he's pretty easygoing. They're trying to just capture the essence of what seems to be like the feudal era. They take him to this abandoned, I don't even know, like temple almost. And they give him old women's clothing.
Oh my gosh. It's not the same at all, but like the abandoned temple kind of reminds me of one time when I was taking pictures of my friend and we were in a different part of the state and we went to this like tire warehouse and there were just piles and piles of tires like up to the building. And I did a photo shoot of her with the tires. And it's actually really good.
I want to see the pictures.
I'll show you.
I believe it. But so Han Sarong is just trying to be a good sport about it. He puts on this beautiful dress and they're trying to tie the rest of the look together. The photographer is being very picky and he's just like, something's not right. And so they find this beautiful charm and they're like, okay, we'll put this on the dress. It makes it look really nice. Mm-hmm. And they go to start taking pictures and Han Sarong like blinks and then everyone is gone.
Yeah, except for someone. And that someone is a snake man.
Yeah, I think it's implied that he's like the snake god that this temple worships.
Yeah. If you have read any other snake stories, this is the most accurate one.
If you know, you know. This one is explicit, so just throwing that out there. I think all of the ones we read today were explicit at some point.
Yeah.
But this one is very explicit. It's like the entire story.
But also it's beautiful. I mean, this one had the best art. Like the colors in this one were just so vibrant.
They were gorgeous.
The snake god, he's beautiful.
He lives rent-free in my head.
The tattoos on his back.
Chef's kiss. The design was great. But you do find out this snake god awakens and it has something to do with the charm that was put onto the dress.
Yeah.
But Han Sarong is very confused as to where all of his friends went. Why is there a snake man behind me? Mm-hmm. And the snake man says, you've received the charm. Like, you're my mate. Like, you're my partner.
Yeah.
And so they have this extremely explicit encounter together. And afterwards, Han Sarong kind of like wakes up to his photographer friend being like, snap out of it. We're still taking pictures. And he assumes that it's a dream. But it was not. Because as you see them leaving, he just feels like some sort of connection to this temple. He's like, how could that be a dream? Like, I'm sore and that was weird. And like, what in the world is going on? And the last panel is so striking. But it is just Han Sarong walking away from the temple. And in his shadow, you can see a snake like wrapped around him.
Yeah.
I loved it. In 3 episodes, this one did have us pretty gripped.
Yeah,
it was
did.
a really good story, even just for the short form in general. And the creator of this one does have several other stories on Lezhin. So I know we've personally started looking into one called Heat of the Moment, but there are several other titles as well. So if you would like the story and you want to continue looking into things that creators made, they also have a lot of other stories to offer. Thank you all so much for joining us and looking forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye.